Hey everyone, it's Kyle from Kool Collectibles, back again with the second part of the 1966 Batman figure review, this time of the Burt Robin figure. And I've got to say, I probably like this figure better than the Cape Crusader of Batman himself. Probably purely just because I don't think the suit is as delicate, and it just has as much detail, in my opinion. But just quickly, the packaging's got the same sort of window box for the window, which is an awesome feature, and it's got the same sort of retro artwork from Dixon Chen and Monster Jr. And I love the artwork for the cover as well, which is pretty awesome. So I really reckon they did a fantastic job with the packaging art. So I'll just get those out the way. Accessories wise, again, it doesn't come with all that much, but it's still pretty cool. It's got the bat phone, which is great. Got the handcuffs, which I'm not sure if it's actually metal, but yeah, it feels pretty sturdy anyway. And the same batarang as Batman. And he gets the whole array of hands, from the holding the batarang to just the relaxed hands and so on. So you don't get quite as many hands as Batman, but just as good. And the standard instruction manual. But onto the figure, and just like with the Batman figure, the likeness is sensational. So you can probably see the eyes a bit better in this shot. They're probably not hidden as much as Batman behind the cowl, but I reckon that likeness is pretty fantastic, pretty much from all directions really. So yeah, it's just unbelievable how Hot Toys can get these likenesses that spot on. The sculpting and the paint app is pretty good. Pretty much right up there with the best of them in the sort of skin texture and hair texture, so can't fault that head sculpt at all. The costume does come in a couple of pieces, so underneath it's got the leotard and the green undies that sort of extend back to this shirt, the shirt sleeves here, so that's all, I think that's all one piece underneath, and then you have this red vest with the cape clasp to it. And I do like that Hot Toys out of the box they already clasped it, unlike the Batman, which was not, and that was just an absolute pain in the ass to put that together. So I'm glad I don't have to touch that at all. And the material on the cape is, I think it's the same material as the Batman cape, so it's a nice, very fine sort of velvet touch. But the vest is more of a, it's not sort of the sort of flexible, stretchy material like the tights are. It's more almost like a canvas type material, and the symbol there is pretty cool. And the stitching here, it is separate stitching, so you can sort of futz it around, and that's really nicely detailed and done there. So if you can zoom right in there. So I love all the different textures in that sort of top half of this, the suit. The elbows only bend 90 degrees, so that's as best as I could do it. I did want to put him in the iconic hand in fist sort of pose that he always does in the TV series, and he normally does that, doing that with his arms up here. But because you can't bend those elbows any more than that, it's very difficult to get it into that pose. There was one blogger, I can't remember if it was just from Toys Daily or LJ or someone, who did have a straight on photo of him standing with his hand like that. But I tried to replicate it and I just can't, so I'm not sure if they just over bent their elbows just to get that shot, because I cannot get it bent like that, and I can't find any other photos on Sideshow Freaks or 1/6 Republic of anyone else being able to bend it that far either. The leggings, I think, are the same material as the Batman suit, So they're very delicate, very fine. Luckily no snags on mine. So overall the outfit on this Robin is definitely in better nick than the Batman. The little fold down boots are pretty nice. They're soft plastic, and they do have the flexibility and the ankles there, so you can do the ankle rocking and have some ankle flex, ankle articulation. I guess the one thing I don't like with this figure and the Batman figure is the visibility of the knees, and I found the visibility of the knees here and on the Man of Steel figure is definitely more than in previous figures like the Reeve Superman. The Reeve Superman knees actually look like knees, whereas here the bottom and top joints are really visible. So I'm not sure what's happened there. I don't know if it's because the legging material is finer, so the joints become more visible. But yeah, it sort of ruins the realism, I guess. Whereas with the Superman figure, you sort of look at it and you really can't tell at all. Let me just pick this up for a second. So if you look at the Superman figure, so if you look at those knees, you really can't see the top and bottom joints. They look like kneecaps. Right, so if you look at it on that side, I can't really see too much of a join there. But you come back to that and you can sort of see the joint pretty clearly. And if you come over to the Batman, you can sort of see the joint a bit more there. So that's a little unfortunate. So I'm not sure if they're going to do anything about that, or even if they think that's a problem. But yeah, it just sort of spoils the illusion for me a little bit. But other than that, I reckon this figure is pretty awesome, and you can't have one without the other. So if you're going to have the Batman, you've got to pretty much get this guy too. And they're definitely some awesome looking pieces on the display shelf. And once the Batmobile comes out, it'll just take these guys to the next level. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing any of the villains or anything like that, but if they do, it'll be one amazing display with the Joker and the Catwoman, Penguin, the Riddler even. Some of those guys were, I watched these guys every day after school during the reruns in the 80s. So I love these guys, and definitely glad to have them in the collection. Just be careful with the suits, as I've said with the Batman review, and get them. If you're worried, get them from a seller that has a refund policy or an exchange policy. So be careful of that. But other than that, I hope you guys liked that quick look. Keep up to date on the Kool Collectibles website. I'll have full written reviews of these two probably over the weekend, so I hope you guys can stay tuned for that. And I've got a big pile of loot coming next week from Big Bad Toy Store with Voltron and the 30th anniversary Voltron, a few statues and so on, so stay tuned for that as well. Yeah, thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, bye.